and welcome back to another episode of To the Moms. We're your hosts, Kathy and Amaris. I hope you guys are doing well. How is everyone doing?
Yes, how is everyone doing today, this week?
Yeah, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
The sun is shining here in New Jersey.
Yes, it is.
Spring is just a couple days away, and
Yes.
we are all so excited.
So excited.
Yes, finally getting out of that winter gloom.
And entering allergy season. Yay.
I know. Anyways, today's topic of discussion is the art of saying no, setting boundaries in motherhood.
Yes.
Now, this is a really interesting topic.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of different conversations that you can have within this subject.
Topic, yeah.
Yeah. I know that you had brought this up as an option for us to talk about today, Amaris.
Yes.
And at first it was one of those kind of like the last one that I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know if I relate, but then like the more I dissected the topic, I'm like, oh, okay, wait, okay. Like we can go, there's a lot of ways that we can go with this one. Like boundaries that we want to set for our children, boundaries within ourselves, with our partners, with our families. Like there's so many different ways. So I'm curious to see like your take on the topic. Where should we like start with this, you think?
So I guess let's start by why boundaries are so important to have. Right? So like it's so important to have because let's say, okay, so obviously we are role models for our kids, right? If our children don't see us setting boundaries with like other people when people are being disrespectful or just flat out disturbing your peace.
Yes.
Setting a boundary teaches your kids like, oh, okay, like I can say no
have a voice.
to that. I have a voice. Or like I think of like, you know, the extreme cases like this is my body, my choice. If I say no, it's no. And if you cross that, then no, like you've broke my trust, you broke a boundary, you crossed a line. Yeah. So that's where my mind went to when I saw that. I was like, ooh, the art of saying no. Setting an example, you know?
It is setting an example. And I feel like this is something that it's kind of tough to teach our children, right? Especially as us millennials. Like I know for me, like I don't think that was really taught to me, like to a certain extent,
right? To a certain extent,
because I feel like growing up, even like right before motherhood, like I've always been a people pleaser. I always felt like really bad for saying no to people. I like you said, like teaching your children that they have a voice. I feel like that wasn't really taught to me.
No,
to a certain degree.
Yeah, same. I was always taught to like respect your elders.
I know
anything nice to say, don't say anything, and it's like
exactly. And like times are so different now. Yeah,
right. It's like now you need your voice. You need to advocate for yourself because you never know what position you're going to be placed in.
Yeah.
Going back to like the people pleasing thing, like when people would just burn my energy because they're just little attention on me, I'm like, whoa, like afterwards I'm so exhausted, I'm so tired. So what I've done is just place that boundary where if I feel like you're disturbing my peace or it's just too much for me, 5 feet distance, you stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. Like I don't have to be around you, we don't have to interact with each other. I don't have to say anything. We can just be like a hi, bye type of situation and move forward with life. I think setting boundaries for yourself, it is a little bit complicated. You do need a little bit of discipline with yourself. But I feel like in the long run, if my children see that like, okay, mom distanced herself, she sets boundaries with certain people, I could do the same too. She's doing it in a respectful way. I can do that too. Absolutely. Or when you're in, I think about like women or even like men who are in like abusive relationships. Yeah. Like at what point were your boundaries crossed that you thought, okay, yeah, I'm going to stay here because it's fine. I don't care if my boundaries are crossed. And it's like, no, if you feel a certain way, your boundary was crossed, like you should be able to say something, stop it, or like leave it, you know?
I 100% agree with you. I do feel like after becoming a mom, like I just certain things like I really have put my foot down and
Yes.
just like I don't feel bad for setting certain boundaries anymore. Whereas before I was more like I said like a people pleaser. Now like just to give you an example, like if I can't make it to something last minute or something, I don't feel bad because at the end of the day, it what matters is the well-being of Grayson, of my child.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if the situation is not benefiting him, like I have no problem saying no. Like I can't. Like
Right.
my child comes first. Like it's no longer me anymore. It's my child.
Right.
So I don't
Right.
feel bad like saying no, like to plans or, um, you know, if I had people coming over and like let's say Grayson is not feeling well, whatever the case may be, like
Right.
I don't feel bad anymore for
Right.
saying no.
Right. Right. So I feel like it's so important just to teach the kids no is a sentence.
Oh
You
yeah.
can say no and it be just that. Like you don't need
Mm-hmm.
to give an explanation to nobody.
I know. My
You
little
know?
one just started saying no for everything, and it's so funny because I
Yeah.
know you mentioned to me, Amaris, like wait
Yeah.
till he starts saying no because it's coming, and it's just like the funniest thing. Like he really has his little voice, like it's so cute. I'll be like, Grayson, come on, let's put these clothes on. No, you or like anything. Come on, let's go, let's eat. No, 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 no. With his little finger, no, no. It's just so cute.
That's hilarious.
I
Oh
know.
my
It
goodness.
reminds me of Cirilla, like when she was his age.
Yeah, now it's like no.
Yeah.
With her little
Well,
face like no.
yeah.
I had to write some things down with Abraham because I'm like, you need to help me with like this setting boundaries.
I wrote down some ideas. I will say I feel what is oh your kids.
That's my kids. They're exhausting their energy before bedtime.
Yeah, I know you have a lot. You will have more to say than I have because you've
Yeah.
been doing the mom thing a little bit longer than I have, and I'm kind of like still learning.
So one thing
Yeah.
I had to set a boundary with Abraham is understanding that people can't just show up to my house whenever they want, whether it's family or friends. Like I had to cut that real quick because I'm like, this is my sanctuary. This is essentially my home. If I'm not having a good day and someone unannounced shows up, I was like, I'm in the neighborhood, I thought I'll pass by, or I'm like
No, I don't
free.
like that.
No, I don't. I'm sorry if that is normal in your family. That's not normal for me. I personally don't like that because if I'm having an off day, I should be allowed to continue to have an off day, try to get myself back on track, not
Yeah.
play hostess because you decided to come over. And it's
Absolutely
like,
not.
great, my
No.
house not only is a mess because I feel like absolute
Mm-hmm.
garbage, but
Mm-hmm.
like now I need to like fake a smile, put a mask on to entertain you. No,
No, no.
please.
I mean, growing up, my mom always set that boundary with her because she doesn't like unannounced visitors.
Yeah.
So, so now that I'm a mom and you know, I'm married and stuff, she and my dad, like I will say, like I'm thankful they very much like respect our space. Like I haven't had to set boundaries with my parents. It's like they
Yeah.
kind of just know.
Yeah.
So just to kind of give you an example, like we've been doing the whole strict bedtime routine at 8 o'clock with Grayson. The other day, my mom, she asked me, she was like, hey, like, is it okay if we come over today? Don't worry, we'll make sure that we come over before 8 o'clock because of Grayson's bedtime. And just them acknowledging that, like
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because it's like
Right.
I didn't have to tell you like, oh, like don't
Mm-hmm.
forget that Grayson's bedtime is at 8, and that
Mm-hmm.
even when they were here they were respectful of their time. So like they saw that it was approaching 8 and they're like, okay, well, you know, we can go now, or like, do you need help with anything else, because we know that Grayson's bedtime is approaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really thankful that I haven't had to like really tell them like,
That's good.
You know what I mean? Before, like you said, it really does bother me, like, especially like if you're having an off day. Like I know in the early days, like whenever I was having an off day or I just wanted my own space, the last thing I wanted is someone to come, unannounced. It just kind of like it ruins your whole day, I feel like,
It's like, damn, I'm just trying to get this house
Yeah.
together. I look like shit. I haven't showered. Probably didn't even wash my teeth. Probably didn't have breakfast or lunch.
Right. And then you feel bad because you feel like you have to, like you said, play hostess, like entertain, like offer them food or whatever the case.
Yeah. And I just absolutely hate that.
I know. I could definitely, I can relate to you in what you mean by that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I think I mentioned something on like Instagram, and one of my friends was like, I hate that too. People think I'm weird for being this. So I was like, you're not weird.
No.
We're validated.
Yeah, for sure.
Setting boundaries also prevents issues, Like,
what do you mean?
So like, okay, so for instance, I keep my distance away from certain people because their behaviors, their mannerisms, or just simply the way they talk about people, talk to people, I just don't agree with. It's like, I love you, I adore you, but I'm just gonna set that boundary because like I don't agree with it. And even though you think there's like absolutely nothing wrong with you, I don't want to be involved in conversations that I should not be involved in. I do not need to know information that does not need to be known. It's kind of just like, skirt, I'm gonna stop you right there. Don't care to know what anything else comes out of your mouth. Let's just drop it. How else is your day going? So it just prevents issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I totally get that. I know for me, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but the biggest thing, like when I was asking Blue last night, like what are some, ideas, like what are your thoughts on like how we place boundaries, limiting commitments. So like learning to say no to commitments that don't align with my priorities or that would overwhelm me. This could be like declining a birthday invitation, like just because so and so is inviting you to their birthday party, if they're family, like if we're overwhelmed and we have a lot going on, like we don't have to go.
Right.
We don't have to go. One, it's going to cause like unnecessary stress, and it could also take time away from spending quality time with like my family. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like our weekends are so like precious. Like our time is so precious on the weekends because we don't get to spend a lot of time together. My husband works all the time, so we really try to like limit like the amount of things that we do, if that makes sense.
No, it does. I have a friend that every time we book something, I'm like, listen, like don't overbook yourself. If you are already doing something on Saturday and they're telling me you're free on Sunday, no,
I used to be that person.
No, that's insane.
Yeah, I was like that before motherhood. I would overbook I was a yes person.
Gotcha.
I would say yes to everything. Like, yes, I'll go. Yes, I'll, and then I would regret it. And I would tell Blue, I was like, oh, like, I really don't want to go to this. Like, I don't know why I agreed, but it's 'cause I felt bad. But now it's like,
like
my child is the excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of like setting boundaries with yourself, because I think that one's really good. I think setting boundaries with yourself, another thing that I came up with was knowing your limits, knowing like your drinking limits.
Oh, that's a good one, Amaris.
That's a really, really good
one. That's a good one.
I don't share this. I don't share this with people, but I do come from a family of alcoholics. And I mean, not to like bust their shit and for whatever, but I've seen them go past their limits, and it's just like I won't ever put myself in a situation where I'm breaking that boundary with myself or breaking that boundary with like my spouse or with my children. So knowing what my drinking limits are, if all it takes is for me one drink to get drunk, you best believe I'm just doing that one drink.
To that one drink,
sticking it to club soda or to water afterwards. But just being overall disciplined with yourself, your like spending limits, just
those are all really
everything,
good.
all
Yeah.
really good boundaries that you really need to like place on yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, the drinking one is that's a really good one. I will say,
Mm-hmm.
like, when we do a really good job at like making sure that we know our limits, and we just don't want, we have a son now. We don't want to even take that risk of,
Yeah.
I don't know, getting drunk or making a reckless mistake. It's just not worth it to
Right.
us.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even like when I go out with a friend, like my drink limit is always like one, like you
Right.
said, because
Right.
I don't know. I never want to put myself in a really bad situation
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
going to affect the way I mother Grayson, or I don't know, whatever the case.
Right.
I try to avoid it at all costs.
Right, right. And that's like a boundary that you guys are placing with
Yeah,
yourselves, with like each other, you know. So I just think it's just very,
absolutely.
very important to
And then
have.
the spending one, that has been, I didn't think about it before, but now that you brought it up, that actually has been a huge one for us since
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the year. Last year we were, I don't want to say reckless spending, but we were just
Yeah.
kind of living this lifestyle that it's great, but I
Mm-hmm.
also want to make sure that we're saving for our next house, that we're saving towards the kids. So
Yeah.
I've been very strict. Well, we've been very strict on like not eating out as much,
Yep.
not ordering takeout, like eating more at home, like just being
Mm-hmm.
more budget conscious.
Yeah.
And even when doing groceries, just not going crazy on like, you know, expensive stuff.
Right.
Like
Right.
like we've been doing our groceries lately at Walmart and Costco. I stopped going to Whole Foods for a while because it was just getting very expensive, and
Yeah.
I want to save. And I feel like
Right.
old me um probably wouldn't have set that boundary, but now it's like, now that I have
Mm-hmm.
Grayson, and like there's all these things that I want to do with him, I want to give him a birthday
Mm-hmm.
party and all that. You have to be really smart with yourself
Yeah.
and your spouse, in your household.
Yeah. Because I could be really bad. Like, oh, I'm feeling
Me
sad.
too.
Let's
Yeah.
go out. I'm feeling so happy. We should
And let me tell you, it's
celebrate.
hard. It
It is
took a
hard.
couple months for me to be like, okay, like I don't need to order all this stuff from Amazon. I don't have to go to order from Ulta all the time. And
Right.
I'm okay. Like it's been like I've been living very simple these days, and I actually
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
Yeah, same, same. I love finding a good bargain. It actually gives me like such a
Yeah.
big thrive because it's like, look what I got, such in
Yes.
good condition. Like we're going to that consignment
Right.
shop
Yeah.
next week, and I'm so excited because the kids do need clothes.
Hmm.
Sure, I can afford to go to Old Navy and pay full price, but why?
I know. I know. Exactly. Yeah.
Why?
Old me would have always like bought full price.
Just splurge.
But
Yeah.
now I'm like, no, where can I get a deal?
Where can I get the best deal?
Yeah,
That's gonna give me a
exactly.
bang for my buck, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a really, really good boundary. I like that one. And I put encouraging independence in our kids. So like setting boundaries around chores and responsibilities within the house.
Oh yeah.
Teaching your kids age appropriate tasks and expect them to
Mhm.
contribute to the family's well-being. So
Mhm.
I want to teach my kids that the house doesn't run itself. Like it
Right.
takes a family. It takes a household to
Yup.
make everything flow.
Work. Yeah.
Everything work. Everyone has to participate. Everyone has to help. And
Mhm.
that's what I try to tell Joel. Like it's kind of hard now because he's a teenager, and
Yeah.
like
And they don't listen.
I'm a stepmom. So it's different, obviously, like
It
living in
is.
two different households. So, but I
Yeah.
do try to tell him that. I'm like, Joel, like the house isn't magically going to clean itself. We have to
Mhm.
work together. Last night when I made tacos, I kind of try to teach him because he doesn't, there's certain things that you expect him to know, but like he doesn't because it wasn't really taught to him. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So after dinner, I was like, hey, buddy, like you should always make sure that when someone cooks for you, you offer to help in any
Yeah.
way, whether it's taking out the trash, whether it's doing the dishes. And he was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. Because I'm like, we're a family and we have to
Right.
work together. One person can't do it all.
Right. Right.
So, um, So yeah, I think that that's really good. And I'm teaching Grayson little things too, and he knows, like, every time Grayson like spills something, like he will go get a kitchen towel and clean it. You got to start them early, you know?
You do. No, Thane and Cyrilla, they do the same thing. Like, Thane will spill something just like Grayson, and he'll go and get a paper towel and literally clean it.
I love that.
And then Cyrilla is like, my turn. She grabs one, cleans up the rest, and I'm like, you guys actually did a good job. Thank you for cleaning up your mess.
And they get excited. They get excited. So it's like as they get older, it's not like this, like chore that they have to do. It's like, oh, okay, like we're working together in the house, and
yeah. So teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
Exactly. So yes, I thought that one was a good one. I had to add it in there. I put communicating needs and feelings, encouraging open communication within your family. Teach your children that it's okay to say no to things, which you had mentioned, that makes them uncomfortable or they're not ready for, and lead by example by doing the same.
Yes. And to add to that, because I have something similar, is when kids grow up in an environment just like that, yes, when they're older, they understand the word no and understand like what an abusive relationship looks like versus what it does not look like. But also it teaches them emotional intelligence, like you said, you know, how to communicate their feelings, how to communicate their wants, their needs. It also
which we lack as millennials.
We lack. But it also teaches morals and respect, not only to treat others, but to treat themselves, and not just in like relationships, but in workplaces too.
In school, everything.
In school, everywhere. So just I cannot emphasize enough how setting boundaries is just so important to teach these kids. Like everyone all talks about that kids nowadays don't have respect, but yet you're not giving them respect. You're not allowing them to say, what you did really hurt me and I did not appreciate that, without you getting so offended and then
gotta explain things to kids. And you do. And that's the thing, like a lot of parents or people in general, I don't want to
it's people.
Yeah, they lack the patience. You know, I know it's hard. Like parenting is very hard. But kids, like they don't have the mental capacity, the emotional intelligence that us adults have. So we have to explain things to them. We have to kind of like get at their level, put ourselves in their shoes, and not lose our patience with them.
Because then they're going to grow up and then be like that with other people, not just with their kids, but with other people. And that's probably one of the reasons why there's so much fucked up shit happening into this world, because like we all can't just sit down and understand that we're all individuals. We all have feelings. Let's talk about it.
Exactly. Like we grew up with our parents telling us, because I said so, and it's like I said so, and it was never, just never explained to us why, and we never. It's just we don't want that for the future generation.
No, we don't. We want better for them.
I put here social media boundaries, but this is like a boundary that I want to start.
That's fine.
Doing. So like establishing rules around social media or like not even social media, just I guess screen time, like using our phones, like limiting that use. Because I'm very guilty of like using my phone a lot, and sometimes I don't realize, like I'll be using my phone while I'm playing with Grace, and I'm like, damn, like I really just spent like X amount of time on my phone instead of like giving him my undivided attention. You know what I mean?
No, I feel the same way there. I purposely have been making sure that whenever Cyrilla's like, mommy, play with me, turn my phone off, put it upside down, and I'm like, let's go. What do you want me to do? You want to send me to jail? Cuff it up, girl. Let's go.
It's like it definitely requires discipline, and it's something that I'm working on, because I know that in the future, like now that he's getting older, I don't want him to be like, oh well, like mommy's always on her phone, and like I want to make sure when I'm having conversations with him, when he's having a conversation with me, that I'm giving him eye contact, because let me tell you something, Amaris, that is something I love my parents to death, I do, but that is something that I was lacking in my childhood. Even to this day, like sometimes I'll be talking to my mom and she's not looking at me in the eyes, and it bothers me so much.
Yeah.
It bothers me so much to the point that like sometimes like Blue will do that and it's like an instant trigger for me.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like I'm having a conversation with you and you're not looking at me, and it hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
Oof, I just got chills. Like
I know.
I didn't even think I was gonna bring that up, but yeah, like it hurts my feelings. It's like, why can't you give me your undivided attention right now?
Right. Like all I need is a minute.
Just give me a second, anything. I don't want to do that to. I don't want to do that to Grayson at all.
Yeah.
So it's very important to pay attention to your kids and give them eye contact. It's so important. Make them know that you're there for them. So
for sure. Yeah, no, I try my best. Like when they're on their screens, I'm like, you have two options. And this is where discipline comes in for me. Either be on your phone, engage with the ladies on TikTok, or get housework done so that when bedtime scrolls around, you're not thinking about the mess. You're thinking about them and having some fun time. I don't always make the best decisions.
Same. I mean, like I said, we're not perfect. Like we live in a digital world. Like it's something that we really have to be strict on. We have to discipline. It's not easy. Before I used to, like, first thing in the morning. You know what? Like sometimes it takes me so long to answer you because I don't check my phone in the morning.
Fine. That's fine.
I don't check it. I don't check it sometimes till like 11, 12 in the afternoon. And that's something that I started doing like during postpartum. I feel like I just don't check my phone first thing in the morning. And I'm trying to tell Blue that too, because he sometimes like he'll check it first thing, and I'm like, or like he'll turn on the TV, like today we went downstairs after we woke up, and he went to turn on the TV, and I'm like, no, put some records on, let's play some music. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And I started making pancakes and we're listening to music, and it makes Grayson happy. You should have seen Grayson dancing. Like that's what I want for my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree with you. Ever since we gave the tablets back, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been like a godsend for me to get stuff done, but I just feel like Cirilla's eating habits are just tanking, and I'm just like, girl, I would take this tablet away from you so quick you wouldn't even know what to do with your life. And I think I am. I think starting tomorrow, I'm gonna take it away from her because she's not eating her food and she's wasting food, and I absolutely hate that. So now I'm just like, I think I need to wake up early to get, like, truly wake up early. I'm thinking like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to get things done so that I'm giving her my undivided attention throughout the day, but still going to the gym, still taking her to the gym, because this week I go to the gym.
Yeah, we didn't take we couldn't take Grayson to the little gym this weekend, but we're gonna take him tomorrow morning. So
that's good. That's good that you guys have that option. But just being disciplined.
Yeah, discipline is tough, but it's a work in progress. Yeah,
you know, it's not like a one day Amazon Prime shipment thing that's going to happen.
No,
you know,
it takes time.
It takes time. But that's all I have to say. Do you have anything else on your list that you wanted to share?
We've talked about this in our self-care episode, but I put like scheduling me time.
Girl, I suck at that.
I know, and I do too. But let me tell you guys, ever since we've been following this bedtime routine with Grayson, now that I'm able to put him down, but he's sleeping by like 9 o'clock. I have all this time now at night that I never had before. So I was telling Blue literally yesterday, I'm like, well, now that Grayson has been on this routine for a little over 2 weeks, now it's time that I put myself on a routine.
Yeah.
I need to take time to work out. I can work out at night because that's going to be the easiest for me. I can spend an hour doing work, you know, whether it's like podcasts or TikTok. I can journal if I want to, or read.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to do that. And I really do I have to schedule that time. Do you follow like a schedule, like a routine for yourself?
No, I'm terrible.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
At the end of the day, like if you're burnt out. Like you don't want to do
burnt
anything.
out. Because I'm so used to taking care of everyone else. I'm not taking care of myself, and that's why, I mean, you can't tell in the screen, but my skin is not good. Granted, I'm on my period, but also like for maybe 2 weeks, I wasn't doing a nighttime skincare routine.
I'm sorry, yeah.
You know, and not to be so disgusting, but like brushing my teeth at night, I don't do that because I'm just so mentally exhausted.
I feel that way too. You're not alone.
Like on
you're
the
not
couch,
alone.
but like it sucks because I'll go to these dentist appointments and they're like, you know, we could tell you're not doing this, we could tell you're not doing that. I'm just like, great, I'm gonna have oral something. But yeah, I have, like, I was literally telling this Abraham, I think this morning, I'm like, I need to find a way to truly give me time every single day because I give you that you time. You know, I don't say I let him because, you know, my husband's free, but like I stay with the kids while they're sleeping so that he can go to the gym. Does he like going to the gym at night? No, but that's the only time he has to go. But I push him. I like push him and I'm like, listen, I'll take care of everything else. Just like go. But I need to set a boundary with myself and say like, hey girl, take care of you too.
So we're both on the same boat with that one. So that's why I wanted to bring that one up because it's we have to pencil ourselves in somehow, you know.
Somehow pencil me in.
What if have you thought about like writing things down and like trying to stay consistent every day, like just following the routine until it just becomes
something
second nature.
I actually thought about today because all day I wanted to leave the house, but Abraham and I just have this big conversation and I'm just like mentally exhausted from that. It's nothing bad. It was talking about like our future, whether we're actually going to stay here, move out of this town.
I have a headache because we have that talk like all the time too.
But no, like because the last time we had this talk, we were set on like leaving to Central. But then you know, he asked me today, like, are we going to get this basement done? Because we're getting our windows done. And then it just turned into this huge conversation. It took literally hours to get down to the bottom line. I'm just like, all right, this is what
the plan
is. Let's start getting things rolling because the longer we wait to get it rolling, it's not going to happen.
We had a similar conversation too because you know, Grayson's getting older and he's going to be starting preschool in like a year. Like what the heck? Like that is wild to me. That is wild to me. But yeah, I feel like for the longest time we've kind of been in this limbo of are we going to stay? Well, we know we're not going to stay here, but it was kind of like okay, so when is the right time to move? When are we going to do that? We're talking about like our forever home, a place where we want to build roots, where we want Grayson to grow up. That's huge. Like I get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted in life is to put roots down somewhere.
Yeah, same. And like you know, Abraham talked about like I could see myself living in this house forever, but expanded.
Right.
So then I was like, you know what, let's go on Realtor right now and see what houses we like. And we found a house where I was like, it literally has everything we want. And I'm like, I was like, if we have the money, I would hands down put an offer in this house. But what scares me is this a school district for us?
Yeah,
you know,
that's huge.
It's huge, you know. So, but all in all, we're just going to wait. We're gonna try to save aggressively. So your girl gotta get a job.
Yeah, I gotta figure something. I'm trying to do the social media thing and see if it works and and maybe do something else. I don't know, but I definitely want to try to contribute financially because I want this process to be
like fast and easy.
And you listeners are probably wondering what does this have to do with boundaries, but I was just thinking
everything.
Everything. But one of the biggest things with wanting to move, it was always like, well, if we move, like it was kind of, we have this like pressure, or I had this pressure of like, I need to be close to my family and this and that. Now it's like, you know what? If we end up moving out of state, like it's okay. Like if we need to move an hour plus away, so that we can live in an area that we love and a school district that we love, then it is what it is.
That's like that's literally yes.
Eventually, everyone's gonna move.
Yes.
Whether they go to DR or they go to college, people move. Lives continue. Like, yes, we have to do what's best for our family.
I literally said that to 8 because just like you, I wanted to move to Central Jersey to be closer to everybody. But then I was like, you know what? Nobody texts me. No one calls me. No one asks me how my kids are doing, how Thane is doing, how his services are doing. Why the F do I want to move closer to anybody if y'all don't have the time nor the common decency to say, yo, what's good, what's up?
Right.
You know, so I'm just like, no, I'm not going to move closer to nobody. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to live a happy and peaceful life.
Exactly. You know, people can always visit. We can always visit people if you live far. We make it work somehow.
Right. If we can spend like a weekend.
Yeah, if you want to be in my child's life, you figure out a way to do that. Like you will move mountains to do it.
Exactly.
So yeah, so this definitely plays a huge role in the whole boundaries topic.
Stop.
I'm glad we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because people pleasing just has to stop. Like you have to break that. Set that boundary for yourself that sometimes you have to be selfish and you need to put yourself first. Yeah. And that's okay to be a little selfish.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, protect your peace. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Protect your peace.
Those are our 2 cents on that. I really hope that you guys enjoy this episode. This was a really fun one to dive into. Lots of moving parts, I feel like, but yeah, hope you guys liked it. If you aren't giving us a follow on our socials, please do so. We are on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and we're on all your favorite podcast platforms. Give us a follow. But yeah, we're excited to see you guys on the next one.
Bye.